And we are good to go. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is actually good morning this morning.
It is morning.
We're recording in the morning.
Yeah, we don't do mornings very often, but we always have coffee and prayer and everything else in the mornings, but we don't record normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually it's in the evening, but this week it's morning. So
it's fun. Do something different.
You like doing things
So
different.
what are we? Yeah, I love doing things different. What are we doing this morning?
Well, first of all, we're going to introduce ourselves to folks.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I am a
Network engineer.
network engineer, web designer, and
All kinds of
a few
stuff.
other things.
Yeah. And together we're Tabletop Coffee.
Yeah, where we are bold and never ever bitter.
And this morning, we continue our series with part 2 of Money Matters, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. So you're the one who actually came up with this idea a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We've talked about money a couple times,
Yeah, we
marriage
did.
and money, and
Right.
you got some of those out there. But you were in a store locally,
Okay.
Big Lots.
Big Lots. Yes, I was big. Yes, I was in Big Lots.
First of all, I wouldn't tell anybody I was in Big Lots.
You know what? We have 2 of those now.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Where's the other one?
Beside what used
Timberlake.
to be Hills Plaza.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, we've got Gabe's, which I'd never heard of, and now Big Lots. And I noticed this morning that they were open.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got 2
So
Big
you
Lots.
were in Big Lots, and
I
you
was.
heard an employee
Yes, I did.
saying that they weren't sure if they could purchase a cup of coffee because they weren't sure it was payday or not.
That's right.
Yeah, and so we did
Yeah.
a video on that, and we certainly weren't making fun of people who have limited funds.
Oh,
I've been
no,
there,
no,
you've
not
been
at
there,
all.
and
Yes.
we talked about that. But
That's right.
it was this mentality of, I'm going to go purchase a very expensive cup of coffee, and I can't do it until I
Get the paycheck.
get a paycheck.
I
And
need
so,
some more money.
yeah, so we started talking that evening about this whole thing about how do you begin to change it so that you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. And we jumped
right.
in with some really practical kinds of things.
Yeah, we did.
Do you remember what we talked about?
Yeah, I do remember what we talked about. We talked about, you can either work harder and longer, get an extra job or do something along those lines, or
Really cut back.
cut back.
Yeah.
And that's probably a great way to live, no matter who we are, is to, minimize the things that we go out and purchase.
And would you put that video up there?
Now, I'll put that video right up here so that you're able to get to that last video.
So I really began to think about it more,
Okay.
and we started with some very practical things, but I think we need to back up and kind of this is actually part 2, but probably should actually be part 1.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're going to change any behavior whatsoever, whether it's this one about stop living paycheck to paycheck, or any other unwanted behavior,
Right.
you've got to, first of all, do 2 things.
Okay, what's that?
One of them is you have to break outcome resistance, and the second one is you have to break process resistance. Break
Okay.
outcome resistance and break process resistance.
Okay.
And so I know that sounds kind of technical, so let's kind of talk about that.
Sure.
And let's take it out of the realm of money. Let's talk about
Yeah.
maybe some other behavior that people want to change. Coming up in the new year, people are really going to be interested in making lots of changes.
Losing weight.
And the one they're going to be really interested in is losing weight, because most people in our country are overweight. So if somebody wants to lose weight, they first of all have to decide, do they really want to do it? What are the benefits of staying overweight?
Oh, okay.
And you have to look at them, and people would typically say, well, what
What is the benefit?
No. We do this in my office all the time. What are the benefits of staying depressed? What are the benefits of staying anxious?
Yeah.
What are the benefits of drinking too much? What are the benefits of using drugs? Because they're there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this, and I
Okay.
know that you'll throw them up on the screen as we do them.
I will.
What are some of the benefits of staying overweight? Yeah.
You get to eat whatever you want to eat. That would be
There
one
you go.
thing.
You get to eat whatever you want to eat, whenever you want to eat.
Yeah, you get to drink whatever you want to drink.
Get to drink whatever you want to drink. You get to eat whatever quantity or drink whatever quantity
Yeah.
you want, and it is fun.
Yeah, you get to sit on the couch and not get up and exercise.
Yeah, you don't have to exercise, and it's fun to not have to do these things. If you don't enjoy exercise, and I exercise 5 days a week,
Right?
I don't like it. I don't
No.
like going down to my workshop. I don't like it while I'm there. I look
Right.
forward to leaving, being done with my workout every time. There's no part of that I enjoy.
Right.
So one of the benefits of being overweight is that you don't have to do those things.
Yeah, you sure don't.
And
That's the three I can think of.
yeah, well, what happens when you're not feeling good?
Yeah, as far as
Losing weight.
um,
You get to go eat, and
Sure.
it makes you feel better because all those foods come in and they improve your mood. There's a nice satiation that happens. You get to intake all those calories and all those carbs and all those wonderful flavors, and so you get to do that.
yeah,
So there's lots of benefits
I can
to
see that.
staying overweight.
Sure.
What are the cons to being overweight?
Well, you're sluggish all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are tired.
A lot tired.
When they're overweight. I know that I'm one of those people who can't put on weight, so I'm
Yeah.
always trying to put on weight, and I struggle with that side of things. But Lisa and I will be out, and we're very active people, and we'll see other people who maybe have a little more weight on them, and they're not able to keep up with that kind of activity all the time.
Yeah, you're not able to oftentimes do what you want to do or do
Right.
it for as long as you want to do it.
Sure.
There's numerous, health cons
Yeah.
to being
right.
overweight. So
Sure.
there are lots of benefits to being overweight, and there are some cons to being overweight.
Hmm. That's right.
And the problem is it only takes one benefit. It only takes one paycheck, one avenue of revenue
sure.
to stay where you're doing, because it's wonderful to be
Right.
able to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So now let's apply that to
To money.
money. So what are some of the benefits to living paycheck to paycheck?
I'm trying to think of benefits
Yeah.
of living paycheck to paycheck.
Because you're spending your money all the time,
Okay.
and it's fun to spend your money.
It is fun to spend money.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And now it's even easier. Just click, click, click. Right,
Right.
It's like Christmas every day. Stuff's coming in.
Sure.
So being able to spend your money how you want to spend it, when you want to spend it, whatever quantity you want to spend it.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. And if your mood is down,
Go buy something.
go buy some fast food. Go buy
Right.
a way overpriced coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Go have a way overpriced Starbucks with a friend. Hey, let's go have coffee.
Sure.
It just feels good to have that autonomy to be able to spend your money the way you want to spend money.
Right.
And we could go on and on. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of benefits
Okay.
to spending your money.
Yeah.
Are there any cons to spending your money?
Oh, I can do this one easy because I live in that other world. I live in the cons for spending your money. That's the way my mind works. So, yeah, I mean, you're always looking for that last thing that you can buy before you're out. And
Yeah.
then you have to figure out, can I make it for the next 2 days before I get my next paycheck? So you're living on limited
Oh, yeah.
resources the
Yes.
entire time.
Absolutely.
You would go through a period of worry. I can see that where, am I going to be able to, take care of things for these next few days before I get my next paycheck? What happens if I lose my job and I have zero paycheck?
Right, exactly.
Then you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You're just figuring out, what am I going to do? How am I going to
Yeah.
get any money at all?
Yeah, how am I going to take care of me? How am I going to take care of my family?
Yeah.
I'm not able to give money to other people
Right.
like I would want to be able to
Yeah,
give
that's
to
right.
them. The
Yeah.
pressure is just immense.
It would be
Financial burden.
Right.
It creates problems relationally
Sure.
as well, because it increases, sex, kids, and money are just huge problems for
Right.
married couples. So there's plenty of benefits to being able to spend your money the way you want. There's
Yeah.
plenty of cons to spending money the way that you want, living paycheck to paycheck. So
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
have to decide, am I really going to push that button? Am I really, really going to give up all the benefits? Do I really want this to happen? And that's a big deal.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing.
Right.
If people want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, is they have to decide, do they really want to give up those benefits
Okay.
to living life this way? And the second thing is, are you going to pay the cost?
Yeah.
For instance, let's go back to weight loss.
Okay.
If you're really, really going to change your way of living and you're no longer going to be overweight, you're going to be a healthy weight.
Yeah.
Is there a cost to that?
There's a big cost to that.
Yeah.
You have to watch what you eat. You have to exercise. You have to, just pay attention to things that will put that weight on. Maybe get off the couch instead of watching a TV show and go out for a walk and spend some time each day doing that.
And oftentimes, various weight loss programs will encourage people to walk 10,000 steps per day.
That's right.
And that's going to be a big commitment. You're going to have to walk in the rain. You're going to have to walk in the snow. You're going to have to walk. And you're going to have to walk. Or you're going to get a gym membership. Or you're going to get a personal trainer. Or you're going to hire somebody to help you watch the nutrition portion. Maybe you have to get into therapy. I mean, there's all these costs of stopping to being overweight. Now let's flip it over.
Okay, to money.
Is there a cost involved? What cost are people going to have to be willing to pay to stop living paycheck to paycheck?
That's can be a big cost there. You have to stop buying the items that are more expensive than what you can do otherwise. Like we talked about in the other video. Instead of buying that Starbucks coffee or a Joe Bean's coffee for $3, $5, $7 each day or each week, you make a cup of coffee at home.
Yeah.
Or instead of going out to lunch 3 times a week, you pack your lunch and you're able to save money. So you're cutting back that way. The other thing is you take on another job for a while so that you can get yourself out of that process of living a paycheck to paycheck and put a little bit of money away so you're not always dealing with that type of
And it's a huge commitment, but I think sometimes people are in such a hole that they really have to limit themselves, that you don't go out to eat at all.
No, that's right.
You don't go purchase coffee outside your home at all, because I think oftentimes, like AA and NA talk about, one's one too many.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
1,000's never enough.
Sure.
So if I go out and have lunch at McDonald's or another fast food place today, it's easier to do it tomorrow. So for a certain period of time, it's likely that you won't be able to do these things at all.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Any other costs people are going to have to be willing to pay that you can think of?
No, why don't you add one in there? Those are the 2 big ones for me that I can think of.
Well, I think you may have to let somebody in on your pain. I think you may have
that's
to,
a good idea.
Develop a relationship with somebody else and say, this is an area where I struggle.
Right.
Do you have some abilities here that you could share with me? Or you may have to actually, I know it's going to sound funny, but hire a financial planner, because you're not doing it too well on your own. So maybe actually paying for that service if you can't find somebody to help you do it for free.
Sure. And we talked about that a little bit in the last video. And, we talked about, Chuck and I are accountable to each other, and we talk about just about everything that goes on in each other's life. And it is nice having that person. So if you do have a person, in your life who you really trust, and it's kind of like the accountability partner thing, that can definitely help. I think if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it might be difficult to get a financial advisor, but if you do go down that road, you'll just have to work another job for a little bit to take care of that until you get yourself on your feet.
Yeah, because sometimes some people will complain, for instance, who are abusing alcohol or other drugs, and they'll go, well, I can't afford a counselor.
Yeah, well, you can't afford not to have a counselor.
Yeah, and you really can't, and I guarantee you, you'll have more money in your wallet at the end of the year if you hire somebody to help you out of substance abuse, because you're going to spend a whole lot more money on your substance, whatever it is, than you would spend on therapy.
That's right.
So part of the cost may actually be a financial cost that you have to pay. And I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but sometimes it is that way for people.
Yeah, but looking at it that way, if you are managing your money a little bit better and not buying those coffees and not paying for lunch every day, you take that money and put it towards somebody who can help you get to that next level. Yeah,
and oftentimes when I'm doing individual coaching, I will ask people, are you willing to do whatever I ask you to do? Whatever I ask you to do, provided it's not illegal, unethical, or dangerous.
Yes.
If you're not willing to say yes to those 3 things, then I dismiss you from my office.
Ooh.
Because I'm never going to ask my client to do something
No,
that
I
I've not done,
understand. That's right.
that I'm not willing to do or demonstrate
Sure.
for them. But if they're not willing to do those things and do whatever it takes, pay whatever the cost is,
That's right.
then they're saying, I want to stay stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't be in that position with them
No,
because you're there to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that the takeaway is, do you really, really want this? Do you really, really want to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Because there are benefits to staying the same.
That's right.
And number two, are you willing to pay the cost, whatever that cost is,
That's right.
to stop living paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah. That's very good.
Hey, I hope you liked our content. If you did, would you please subscribe? Because Keith would really appreciate that.
Yeah, be sure to ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
Make sure to like it.
Yep, share this with your friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Until next time.
My voice is booming.
Do you see that? Those little meters are bouncing all over the place for you this morning. It's great. It's because it's morning.
Yeah, Keith's actually looking into getting new microphones for us, and I said, well, if you had a partner whose voice was above that of a mouse whisper, you probably wouldn't need to get new microphones. Hey, do our collars look okay?
We look great. Man, you look amazing.